you were getting into talking a little bit about the millennial group and how it's so different from maybe the generation before.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, and I hear this conversation a lot, and I read about it, and I don't work in the corporate environment, but I do work in a place where I'm doing a lot of leadership, and I have lots of different people that I'm dealing with from all different generations, and I do know that millennials think differently. They've grown up in a world where everything is immediate. Everything can be done from their phones. I don't think they recognize that, you can't order music, order from Amazon, listen to music and make a phone call like all at the same time. Like they don't know that. So, when I think that the people are like, oh, well, they're impatient and they're entitled. Like, well, that's what they've been taught, and they don't know any different. And so I think it's up to us to show them other skills, coping mechanisms and things like that, where they can kind of evolve into this world. But as leaders of these people, I think that, being aligned with the purpose of whatever your company is doing, being authentic to them is very important. So being real, I mean, that's our whole world is online, right? And so I think the people that connect with you most are the ones who feel like you're being real. I do lives every week on Facebook, and I'm raw and real. I mean, I tell the truth. I don't, I'm not making stuff up like that. I don't act as if my life is perfect, because that's just not real. And I think that's, people identify with that. And so in a company, I think it's important. I mean, you certainly need to be professional, but for people who are going to work with you who feel like you're authentic and feel like you're real and don't feel like your ego is controlling every little thing you do. And I think that there is a lot of that in a corporate environment, where there's people that have,
personas, like they create
have personal agendas, and right, and so and they don't necessarily need you. There's a turnover. I think that there's a feeling of superiority. I mean, I think a lot of people have been brought up in this employee mentality, like we need to be told what to do. We're not going to be listened to, and so then we just wait to be told. But it's frustrating. It would certainly be frustrating. I mean, think about our kids, right? You have a 4-year-old, I have a 5-year-old. All we're doing is telling them what to do.
Yeah, I get tired of doing that.
I get tired of doing it too. I get tired of doing it too, and they don't want that either, even though they kind of need that guidance. So it's the same. I believe it's the same thing, where people need guidance, but they need to be heard. They need to know that their voice has value. They need to know that they are safe. That that they. One small move and they're going to get fired from somebody else. They don't, an environment where there's backstabbing and talking behind people's backs. Like if there's an environment that's created like that comes from the top. That's not from the employees. That comes from people not feeling safe, not feeling valued. Again, being real, being authentic, being raw, being open. That will make people feel safe when they don't feel like they need to be perfect. When they know that you're not, and that you're not, so that's
really important. When you say that, I'm thinking part of my challenge is I go at a different speed. I go faster, and even though I really do care about what the person is saying in front of me, and I do care about the people I work with, and I want them to feel like I'm listening to them, but my brain and my mouth and everything just wants to go faster. So I am consciously, actually today I had some feedback on that from a wonderful person that I respect, and so of course that came much easier to me because it was somebody that I really liked. But what do you recommend?
Well, you have to mirror them.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, my health and wellness business, I'm trying to help them eat better, feel better, and I have to mirror them because they're going to feel more comfortable when I go at their pace. So, here in the States, different parts of the country, people people speak at different speeds. And so, and I work with people all over the country. So when I get somebody on, and everyone, even when I'm on the phone with somebody and who I've never met, I listen right away to how they communicate. So your way of communicating with them is automatically going to instill either a connection or not. So, you know, someone from New York, I mean, I talk fast too. If someone from New York, I start talking to someone who's like lives in Alabama or, you know, somewhere down south, they speak really slowly, and it might be frustrating to me to like get them to finish a sentence. But that if I want to connect with them and I want them to feel safe and I want them to feel heard, because to them that's very nerve-wracking, I would think, because nobody talks like that where they're from. So mirroring is a skill that, you know, fast talkers like us and fast thinkers need to learn in order to connect with other people, because not everyone's going to communicate the same way we do. And that if I don't listen to them and they're not successful, then that doesn't help me in the long run anyway.